So I started dating this guy. A lot of girls liked this guy. People found out we were dating, they didn't like it. This one particular girl really liked him. So she comes up to me and she says, I heard you're dating so-and-so. And I said, yeah. And then she slapped me across the face. And we just went at it. I used to fight with my sister. So we used to fight like really bad at home. And so I remember thinking, oh, that wasn't that bad. Every year we got in a fight. Every single year. And every single year we went to the principal's office. My dad, knowing my dad, because my dad's a veterano, right, from East LA. Her parents would get pulled in the office. And my parents get pulled in the office. We would both sit there like stubborn. And they would try to get us to be friends. And I was no, and she was no. They say, okay, well, your daughter's suspended and your daughter's suspended. Okay, so we walk out of the office and my dad would say, good job. I saw that you got her in the face and da-da-da-da.
Well, I love the San Gabriel Valley.
Welcome to the MySGV Podcast.
So I grew up here and I still live in Alhambra.
I was raised in between Temple City and Alhambra.
Eventually resided in South San Gabriel.
Our mission is to capture and share the stories of the people of the San Gabriel Valley.
Monterey Park has pretty much been my whole life.
Well, I'm proud to say that I was born and raised in the San Gabriel Valley.
We believe our diversity is what makes the SGV great. And no matter where you are from, in the San Gabriel Valley, you will feel welcome. All right, SGVers, welcome back to another episode of the MySGV Podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in and spending this time with us. If you're new here, we bring you the stories of the people of the San Gabriel Valley. And if you are a returning listener, thank you so much for spending this time with us. We really do appreciate it. Well, Michelle, you're back.
I'm back.
And, it was so fun to watch your clip just go like,
I know,
every day.
I know,
right?
It's pretty crazy.
And you said that your kids were actually watching it and letting you know.
Yeah, they
right?
were.
So if you don't know, Michelle had a clip go viral with us, right? And so what was it like for your kids and your family experiencing that?
They were tripping out. They were like, oh my God, Mom. And they were following it, every day. And they're like, oh my God, you're here. And they would send me texts. You're at this many views, you're at this many views. It got shared this many times. Because I don't know, I'm an old lady. So they're like, yeah, it goes viral when it gets shared. I guess that's what it's considered when it gets shared a lot. Mm-hmm. And then the likes or the saves, is that one of those?
Well, I mean, the whole thing was just crazy.
Yeah. So I'm glad people thought my life was very interesting. Who knew? Who knew it was?
Yeah. And so you're back and after that, you said you had so many more stories, and I welcome you back because you're a great storyteller. You're very animated. You bring us there into the moment, and when you said you had a lot more stories, and your stories are the stories of the SGV. Yeah. So I want to capture a lot more of those. So before we get into that, thank you to Paris Baguette for sponsoring the delicious pastries each and every week for our guests. If you haven't already, go check them out in the city of San Gabriel. I know there's a lot of Paris Baguettes, but this one in particular is the one that helps us and is a big supporter of our show. They're in San Gabriel on Las Tunas, and say hi to Jason and Joanna for us. She is a proud daughter of the San Gabriel Valley, born and raised in Monterey Park and Montebello, shaped by tight-knit neighborhoods, school pride, and the kind of community that raises you without asking permission. She left for a minute after getting married, but home pulled her back, and she made sure her 3 kids grew up in that same SGV foundation. She became the kind of mom who shows up everywhere, room parent, volunteer, and the person everyone counts on when they need something done. Her leadership runs deep. She stepped into the Japanese American basketball world through the Jets organization at Plymouth Church and ended up as president, growing it from 8 teams to over 20 teams in 2 years. In 2014, she took that same grit into real estate, guiding first-time home buyers and families dealing with inherited homes with warmth, clarity, and sharp negotiation. You may also know her as the star of our first viral video to pass 1 million views, that Japanese lady who thought she was Mexican. Please welcome back to the show, Michelle Shimohara. Michelle, welcome back to the show.
Orale.
And a lot of people were like, oh, let's hear it, right? Let's hear the thick, accent, right?
Yeah. I was really trying to hold back. I mean, but I guess it comes out, right? I can't help it.
Sure. And, we got a taste of who you were there, but you have so many other stories, from the SGV, and I don't really know where to start. But, going back to that viral video, so many people, what I saw, heard the accent, saw it in you, but also like the whole Latino community was like, "You're one of us." Did you get that? That's crazy.
I read so many of the messages. And I try to reply. I think I did reply to all of them.
You did?
I love it. Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, look at me. Look at my nails, my hair, everything. I mean, I just went to Japan, and it's funny. They see my name and I go, "Oh, I'm Japanese." And they're like, "You are?" You look a little Mexican. I get that everywhere. Because me and my husband travel a lot, and so we're walking down and they'll speak English to him, and then they come to me and they start speaking Spanish. It's so funny.
Do you like that?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's a compliment.
What was the reaction from like your friends that you grew up with, or did people, your friend group also see that video?
Yeah, my friend group saw it. My niece saw it. It got forwarded to her. My mom went to the dentist yesterday, and they're like, "Hey, I saw your daughter's video." That funny?
Really?
Yeah. So it's pretty funny. And then, oh my gosh, this is funny. So I just went to Hong Kong and Japan. So on the flight there, the steward came up to me, and he says, Are you Michelle Shimohara? And I said, yeah. He goes, I saw your viral video.
What?
And I said, no way. And he goes, I loved it. So he gave me and my daughter like a little overnight pack, and he gives a little extra attention. So it was awesome.
Wow.
Yeah.
And what I look for in those videos is some human element that's relatable and real and raw. And sometimes those are there, but the person sharing the story is like a little bit flat. But you had some comedy in there, like people were laughing about your SJ comment, and that thing also took off too.
I know,
right?
That's funny. I thought everybody knew what an SJ was. I have some good SJ stories too.
Yeah. Okay. So let's start there. Like, what are some of the SJ stories? And you had to explain that, right, later on to a lot of people. So.
Did you notice that they said, "What's an SJ?" And then you had to make that. That was an awesome video, the follow-up video too. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I guess
you had some SJ stories, like encounters or experiences. So what were some of those?
Well, I think when you're living it, you don't know you're an SJ. And then when people would call you SJ, you'd be like, get out, you didn't like it. But now that you're older, you look back and you think, maybe I was SJ. Yeah.
So the term SJ, was it only in the San Gabriel Valley? Did like South Bay people use that too?
Yeah, so I think everybody did. I think we all, but I just remember the ultimates were like the South Bay people.
The ultimates?
Yeah.
Were those Buddha heads, or what's a Buddha head?
Okay, I think Buddha head, like in my house growing up, my dad would refer himself to a Buddha head, right? We're Buddha heads.
Oh, he would say that?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. And then my husband is 10 years older than me. So his group, that's what they referred themselves as Buddha heads. But I guess our group in the 80s were SJs, because he didn't know what SJ was either. And he goes, is that a Buddha head? I go, yeah. So that's what.
Really?
Yeah.
And in your video, you talked about like how you weren't accepted by the Japanese though at first.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was kind of weird. It was kind of, because I was, like I said, I thought I was Mexican. So, me and my sister, little Japanese girls think we're Mexican. And then you go to Macy and you get like, you see this culture shock. And at first it was, we were totally outsiders. I felt like that. Yeah, for sure.
You described the parking lot at Schurr as the SJ thing.
Yeah.
Take us back there.
Okay, so are you aware of that?
No.
The parking lot at Schurr?
I mean, I know what it looks like. I know how to drive up that hill. And there's a gym there, the basketball courts, right?
Okay, so at the very back of it's kind of by the field on the back, all the SJs parked their nice cars there. And so if you're an SJ, that's where you parked. So, during school, you'd hear remember the alarms? Beep, beep, beep. Remember everybody had those alarms on their cars?
And then it would have changed like that?
Yeah. So that's why you would hear that, the silent, beep, beep, beep. Yeah. So all the SJs would park. It was like a car club, right? They'd park, they'd go up to school, and it was in the very back, and they'd park all in the back. That's where the SJs parked.
I think you shared in one of your stories that you got jumped.
Yeah, my first day of school, from when I got to Schurr High School, I was walking in the first recess period, and some guy came up to me and he's like, I know her name. Hey, so and so wants to beat you up, and she wants you to meet her in the smoking section after school.
Smoking section?
Yeah, Schurr had a smoking section.
A smoking section at school?
Yeah, we had it in the back.
Oh, not legal, like not part of the school, but just where people would smoke.
Well, everybody referred to the smoking section. I mean, I don't know if it was legal or not, but it was in the back, on the back side of Schurr.
Okay. Did you smoke?
No, I didn't smoke. I'm boring. I didn't smoke or drink or anything like that.
Okay.
But yeah, so I was like scared, right? Like, oh my God, the senior, and she was a senior.
Wait, why did she want to beat you up?
I don't know. She didn't like the way I looked or whatever. So I didn't go. I was scared.
So what happened? She didn't hunt you down?
No, she didn't hunt me down. I guess she just dropped it. But yeah, I was like, oh my God, what kind of environment is this?
On your first day of school?
First day of school. Someone to beat me up. Yeah.
Was she an SJ?
Yeah, I guess so.
Oh, she was Japanese.
Yeah, huh? Yeah.
You know the name, but you don't want to say.
I know the name. Yeah. I know who it is. Yeah.
Wow. And so what came of that? Nothing ever came of that?
Nothing came of that. Yeah. I guess she got over it. Yeah, but.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And I think one of the first things that you said that you didn't get to share the last time was about your brother.
Yeah, I have a brother. Yeah, it's an interesting story. So, in high school, my mom, we were watching Oprah, and they had these stories where people were reuniting with their families and adopted family members. And so we were watching the show, and then my mom said, if you found out you had adopted brother or sister, would you find them? And me and my sister said, of course. And she goes, well, you do. And we didn't believe them because they're always joking around with us, and they would tell us we were adopted. So we just didn't believe them. And then they were dead serious. And we're like, oh. And so back there in the 80s, we didn't have the technology as we do now, right? All the resources. So as the internet started, evolving, AOL came online and everything. So I started registering. And my mom told me his name was Gable. She named him Gable Masuda. So she named him that name so it would be easy for us to find him.
Gable?
Gable. That was his name.
Okay. She named him specifically so you could find him.
Yeah, later, because that name is so, it's different.
Mm-hmm.
So I put myself on this registry, and nothing came of it. And then years later, I was pregnant with my youngest son. And I was watching some show, and this lady was talking about, reunited families. So I called my mom, and I said, I'm gonna call her. Is that okay? And she goes, okay, I'm okay with it. So I called her up, and I gave her my brother's Gable, his birthday, and everything. And in 5 minutes, she found him. So she goes, go to your computer and look up this name. So I go on the computer and I pull his name up. And my brother, he is like really smart. He's like he teaches at an optometry school in Fullerton. So his name is everywhere. He's like a teacher and a trainer and, very well known in the optometry community. So there's his picture. And I said, wow, what a trip. So she called me and said, hey, I can arrange a meeting if you want. And I said, okay. So she called him, and he was out of town. So I think he waited a little while. I think he had to kind of absorb it. And
he didn't know either.
He knew.
Oh, he knew.
He was adopted. Yeah, he knew. He was adopted, and he had a sister that was adopted at the same time. So they were the same age. And then they had a brother that actually came along.
Also your mom's child?
No.
Oh,
No.
okay.
Yeah, so my brother's actually my mom and my dad's together. Okay. And then whatever.
Oh, he's a full brother.
Full brother, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's a long story, but that's a longer story. But so they gave him up for adoption, and then they ended up getting married and having me my sister. So it was funny because my mom said she would have this fear like we would be dating him, You know what I mean? So
like you would just randomly find him.
Yeah, like she thought like these guys would come over. She'd be like, oh my God, hope it's not, their brother, right? Because San Gabriel Valley, she didn't know what happened to him. And so, yeah, he ended up going with a really nice family. And he grew up in West LA, in the West Side. And his dad was like an engineer. His mom was a teacher. And we met, and it was really great. So the lady who put us together, she called, and I was like 9 months pregnant, and my sister was like 6 months pregnant. I was like fat and everything. I didn't want to be on, I look horrible. And she says, hey, do you guys want to be on the Today Show? Because they want to see Asians. It's good to see, people, San Gabriel Valley, Asians. And I said, no way, not in my state right now. Yeah, so she really, really wanted us to go on that show.
You didn't?
No, we didn't do it. Yeah. So even now I'm on that registry. So people call me and they ask like my experience. Well, yeah. So we've been reunited with him for, I don't know how many, 20 some years now.
And he's been in your life ever since?
Yeah.
Wow. What was it like that time, like that moment when you guys first saw each other?
Yeah, it was like kind of surreal. I was so excited to see him. And, he looks like me and my sister without makeup. And he's really tall, because me and my sister are pretty petite. I'm like 5 feet and he's about 5'11".
Oh, I'm glad 5'11" is really tall.
Yeah, it's tall, right? I mean, yeah.
I don't think so, but,
yeah, he's tall.
I'll take it.
For Japanese, right? He's tall. And he's really intelligent, and he got married and has a good life. And so, we're very fortunate that we got to meet him. And then we ended up having a luncheon, and we met his adoptive parents and family. We had a nice lunch at NBC. Yeah. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
So there's a whole backstory there of like why that even happened, but you said that's for
that's another
time,
day.
Huh?
That's another hour. Yeah.
It seems like that he's not bitter about him being adopted or.
Yeah, he said he wasn't. He said that from being a little kid, the parents told him that he was adopted.
Oh.
So he was. Yeah, he knew. He said he had no problem with it.
And one of the things you sent me, you said that Eastside girls could fight.
Oh yeah, Eastside girls could fight. Let me tell you a story.
What is an Eastside girl?
Okay, some of them went to Keppel, Alhambra.
Oh, Keppel's
Schurr.
Eastside.
Yeah, Keppel for sure. Yeah, totally. So let me tell you a story. So I think a couple years ago we went to lunch with my girlfriends, and so there was 3 of us. I went to Schurr, and the other 2 went to Keppel. And there was a girl from Hawaii, born and raised in Hawaii, that came here later, and then there was a girl from Gardena. So we met in Monterey Park, and we were going to like Manhattan Beach or something. So it was a good hour. So we're talking. So we're talking all these crazy stories. Yeah, remember over here? We went over here, went to this girl's house, and we got in a fight over here, and all this stuff is so. The girl from Gardena and the girl from Hawaii, they were like flabbergasted, because they said. So we asked them, "What about you guys? Did you guys get in fights?" So they're like, "Oh no." They said, "But we always heard that you Eastside girls would fight all the time." Yeah, for us it was a normal thing. And then the girl from Hawaii, she was like, "Oh no, that didn't happen to us. We didn't get in it. That's crazy." Like she just couldn't believe the stories that we were telling, But yeah, I guess it was an Eastside thing. All the Eastside girls would fight, and it was like,
that reminds me of a story. A girl I knew in high school, like I sort of knew her. She was a friend of mine's girlfriend, and I say friend even like loosely. I knew him. She fought a girl after school, and she had scissors, and she cut all her hair.
oh yeah,
And so you have no reaction to that. I'm like, that's
Yeah.
pretty crazy.
yeah, that was a thing. Yeah, that was a thing. Yeah, I knew a girl that did that. She used to carry in her purse. She'd have those big scissors, those shears. Yeah, she'd bust them out, and she'd get in a fight. She'd cut your hair off.
That's so crazy.
Yeah. Or then they get the nails, and you would file them sharp.
What?
Yeah, so you can. Yeah, that's a thing. Or we'd have like scrunchies in our purse to get ready. And you put your hair up and.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you have big, giant hoop earrings that
Yeah.
you had to take off before
Yeah.
your activities?
Well, you'd stack on the rings, You could stack on the rings to scratch a face, but you would I took off your earrings because, they would pull your ear
Oh,
holes off, yeah.
My sister is very, very street smart, I would say. She got held up at gunpoint, I think at a salon or something.
Wow.
They came in and they closed the lines, and locked the door.
Yeah.
And she said she like instantly took off all her rings and she threw them,
Okay.
and then she didn't get them taken.
Wow, yeah. Yeah, she's street smart for sure. Yeah, especially now,
Oh, yeah.
Be careful.
Yeah. So you went to Schurr.
Yeah.
I went to Keppel.
Yeah.
You said that there's different looks for Schurr and Keppel, and you could tell right away.
Sure, yeah.
So what are some of those things?
Yeah, we used to dress different. Yeah, so we would have a dance at Schurr, and go in the gym, and we'd have the music going on, DJ and everything, and yeah, you could totally tell who was a Keppel girl, who was a Alhambra girl.
What?
Yeah.
How?
Because we just had certain looks to us.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, so the Alhambra girls had a certain way of dress. Their hair was a certain way. The dress was a certain way. Keppel girls had a certain way. And Schurr girls had a separate way.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you talking about like SJs, Japanese from those different schools? Really? Okay.
Maybe
so
it's a girl thing. I don't know. But
just in the way that they're styled or their hair or whatever. Really?
yep. What's interesting at Schurr? That the administrators would know. Because sometimes the other girls from Keppel would ditch school and they'd come visit us. And the vice principal, he would know. Just the way they look. Yeah, he's like, you don't come here, huh? And then he would call their school and get them in trouble.
Really?
Yeah, Mr. Devney, yeah.
So tell me about a story. Like you said, your dad would answer the phone. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, well, back then, there's no cell phones, right? So people would call your house phone, right, all the time. So we had one phone, like everybody else in the living room, right? There was one phone, so everybody hears your business. So when that phone would ring, your parents answer the phone. So girls would call, and they would call, and my dad would say, hello, and then he goes, what? And he would get all mad, and he was, why don't you come down here right now? They're both home. And yeah. So they would come and threaten us and send pizzas and all kinds of crazy stuff.
Wait. Okay. So the common theme here is like people want to beat you up.
Yeah. People want to beat me up.
For what though? What is the reason?
That was back in that was just normal. That was just a normal thing. Like,
just because.
I don't know. They don't like the way you look. They thought you like your boyfriend. They thought they liked my boyfriend.
Really?
Yeah. A lot of people liked my boyfriend in high school. I had a lot of problems. Yeah.
Because of that.
Yeah, a lot of girls. Yeah, a lot of girls want to date with my boyfriend, and so I had problems with that. Or they thought.
Or you had problems with that.
Yeah, I had problems with that. He had no problem, but I had a problem with that.
Okay, so how did you handle that?
Yeah, so they would they would call his house. They'd show up at his house. They would call me. They would write stuff on the walls, and it was crazy. It was a crazy time.
What?
But yeah, people would call me and my sister and like threaten us, and so my dad would get mad because he had a bad temper. And they would call, hey, you know where your girls are? Or whatever they would say. And so my dad would say, like he'd come in my bedroom, hey, I don't know who it is, but someone might come over, so get ready.
Did they ever come over?
Sometimes, yeah.
Did you ever get in an actual physical fight?
Yeah.
Tell us about it.
I did, yeah.
How many times?
So, so the same boyfriend, starting 8th grade in Macy, when I went to Macy, so I started dating this guy. And a lot of girls like this guy, okay? So when people found out we were dating, they didn't like it. So this one particular girl really liked him. So we were at Macy and in the locker room, and we started fighting over him. So we got in a fist fight. That was my first fist fight at school.
What happened? Who says what? Like what's going on there?
Okay. So we were in the locker room and we had just finished. Because do you remember did you go to Macy?
No, I went to Inez.
Okay. So at Macy, you would have to change your clothes. I don't know if you know that.
You mentioned that.
Yeah, you'd have to dress. So they gave you a uniform and you would have to go dress and then take a shower.
You have to take a shower.
You have to take a shower.
Mandatory.
So you'd have to show them you were wet. So that you'd go do your exercises, and then the teacher would stand there in the shower, and then she would mark you off. So if you didn't want to take a shower, you would get marked off, a bad grade. So she would stand there. So yeah,
wow,
you have to
okay.
just take a shower. So anyways, after we came back from exercising, we came back into the locker room, and it's so funny. I remember this because it was so long ago. So she comes up to me and she says, "I heard you're dating so and so," and I said, "Yeah," and then she slapped me across the face. And we just went at it, and we were fighting in the locker room. And so I think the teacher came and broke it up. And I just remember, I don't know why I remember this, but I thought, oh, that wasn't so bad because I used to fight with my sister, right? And we're the same age. So we used to fight like really bad at home. And so I remember thinking, oh, that wasn't that bad. And then every year we got in a fight, every single year.
You and that girl.
Me and this girl got a fight every single year. And every single year we went in the principal's office. Every single year.
Were you winning these? Were you losing these? What?
Of course I won. So my dad, knowing my dad, because my dad's a veterano, right, from East LA. So her parents would get pulled in the office and my parents get pulled in the office. And we'd sit there and we would both sit there like stubborn. And they would try to get us to be friends, and I was no, and she was no. So then, they say, okay, well, your daughter's suspended, and your daughter's suspended. Okay, so we walk out of the office, and my dad would say, "Good job. I saw that you got her in the face," and da 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 da. He probably wasn't supposed to tell me that, but he's like, "I see you got her. Yes, I see you got her, Michelle." So yeah. Mm-hmm.
Really?
So I fought that girl every single year. 8th grade, 9th, all the way till we graduated.
So that was at eighth grade. Mm-hmm. How does it start after that? Is it the same thing? The same from the same bitterness about you dating the guy that you liked?
Yeah.
She liked?
Yeah, so I was dating this guy. I don't think she liked him after a while. It's just that she hated me. And so we fought every year. And then one year we were in summer school. They put us in the same class. And so I told my mom, and my mom was like, oh my God, I should get you out of that class. And every day we would have some kind of beef. And I think it was close to the last day of school. And I remember my mom dropped me off and she told me, Michelle, don't get in a fight today. And I said, okay. And I got in a fight that day. Yeah, so we did it 8th grade, 9th grade, every grade till 12th grade. Yeah.
Were you like training for this, like doing weights and training like some sort of martial arts, gearing up for this?
Well, my dad, just coincidentally, so our house on Wednesday nights, everybody would come over. And I'm talking everybody. So my dad would teach, he would like have a punching bag in the garage, and we had weights and everything. So all these people would come out and hang out at our house every Wednesday for years. And so my dad would teach me and my sister how to fight. And because we found my brother later, but me and my dad didn't have any sons, so we were his sons. So we had to take out the trash. He would I would be walking, he would just flip me over. He would just sweep his, like I'd be walking and he would sweep my foot and he would just flip me like a judo flip, like all the time. So I was pretty tough, and then he would like get me and then he would like wrap me in a pretzel. He's a big, strong man, and he would tell me like, get out, try to break out. And he would tickle me, and he'd tickle me so bad I would start crying, So he would, so he made, he kind of trained me and my sister to be tough, and so, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so I could, so when I used to walk by him, I used to kind of always, because he used to flip me that way, rust me down, like pin us down, and he goes, try to get out. Yeah.
Did you ever make nice with this girl?
No.
Did you ever see her again later as an adult? You did.
It's funny. I did. It's funny. I saw her at the market in Atlanta Square, and I saw her, and she was right in front of me. And I think it was with my kids and everything. So I look over and I see her, and I don't know why, but that emotion came back. You know what I'm saying? That same, like, just mad, because I guess I could have been a bigger person. So, oh, hi, but I don't know why. It just flared up, that long-time emotion.
And what happened?
I didn't say anything. She didn't say anything.
She saw you, though.
Yeah, she saw me, too. Yeah, interesting.
That's a long beef.
Yeah, I know.
Wow. Thanks for sharing that.
I hope none of my clients see this. They're not going to call me anymore.
James, just so you know, they're not always this entertaining. Okay?
Yeah, I'm like East LA Japanese.
That's standard.
Yeah, so yes, but you know what though? But all this stuff, this is what I'm telling you, it makes me tough in real estate. It makes me a good real estate agent, because you have to be tough. I'm telling you, these people are brutal, and the things I deal with, I have to tell people all the time, like really tough conversations, and especially the other agents too. I have to tell them, like, all the time. So I'm glad all these things that happened to me, I'm telling you, it kind of like brought me to where I'm at. Yeah, makes me who I am. Yeah.
So talk about SALT. What is that? And then you had a story behind that.
Well, SALT is straight out of Little Tokyo, and there's a couple of guys from back in the day that put it together.
Is that a play on like straight out of Compton?
It looked like that. I think that's where they got it. And I think they had about 4 or 5 years. The first year I didn't go, but the second year I went, and it was really weird. They had it. They always have it at Nishonganji in J-Town, and it's so weird because you go to this and they have all the music and everything, and you see all the people from back in the day, but everybody has jobs and kids now. It's really weird, but you feel like the same, person. It kind of brings you back to being like in high school and going to dances and carnivals.
Really?
And that's it. Yeah. So we're talking about, they have bars. And so they had it, I think they had it 4 or 5 years in a row, and it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And then last year they handed off to somebody else, and I forgot, I don't know what happened, but it just didn't happen. and they moved it to the Budokan in downtown J-Town, and I believe I think they're gonna bring it back again. But but it's really weird because you feel like you're 18 years old at Nisei Week Carnival, you know, and you see all your friends.
I remember, like, I think the last time I went to a carnival like that, Tamerlan Tamita and I think it's Yuji Okamoto was there. Mm-hmm. I saw him. He's big. He's a big, tall guy.
Yeah.
If you don't know who that is, that's Chosen from Karate Kid.
Yeah, Karate Kid.
Yeah. And that was like in his prime almost, like, you know. But I remember, like, you would see all the same people from J-League there, and maybe there was bingo. I think there was bingo. Yeah,
there's a big bingo thing. Now, back in the day, did you go to all the carnivals?
I went to some Obon carnivals, I think. I mean, mostly they were associated with basketball. You know? So my basketball friends would let me know about that stuff. But my mom tried to make me American.
Okay.
Yeah, and so the basketball, the Japanese American experience was really through basketball only. Mm-hmm. Like she didn't send me to J school. She wanted me to be in Boy Scouts, baseball. Like, she didn't speak Japanese at home, even though she could speak fluent Japanese. Okay. Yeah, she wanted me to be American.
Well, that's where you put yourself in the basketball leagues. For sure, you're right there. Mm-hmm. You know what I noticed? When I think about it, you know, like all the Eastside people, right? We're talking about everybody that's from the San Gabriel Valley. Back in the day, we're in high school. You know, there was certain churches everybody go to Obon to, right? So down here in LA, we'd have like Nishi, Senshin, you know, like in our part of town, right? And you'd see all your friends are from the San Gabriel Valley, but then all the San Gabriel Valley people would go to OC Carnival. And they would go to Gardena Carnival. And then, of course, at the end of the summer was Nisei Week, right? So all of us went to every one. And I think that's, for some reason, all the San Gabriel people went to every carnival. Really? Everybody else kind of stayed in their own little cities. But all the Eastside people, we went to every opportunity. And do you remember Carol's in Rosemead?
Oh, for sure. The one on San Gabriel Boulevard?
Yeah.
Up by near Montebello Town Center?
Yes.
Oh, 100%.
Okay, so I was driving by a couple months ago, and it looks really sad now. Have you seen it?
I haven't.
It was vacant for a very long time, and then I think it's a Denny's now. And I was getting off the freeway, and I had my kids in the car, and I said, "Kids, back in the day, this place was the happening spot. I mean, no matter what you did on the weekend, if you ended up at Carol's, you see all your friends, right? Thursday, well, not Thursday because we were in school, but Friday night, Saturday night, right? It was the place to be." Right, so if you went to dance, the movies or whatever, and you went there at 12 o'clock, you could say we made them a lot of money. And it's sad right now. It's just an empty little shell.
Oh yeah,
so different.
I totally remember Carol's. Like, that's where you went. It was open late, like past 3, I think, even, right? It was maybe open till 4 or 5, maybe 24 hours. I don't know.
Yeah.
The same waitress who was there, like, would remember us.
It was the same waitress.
There was that back area,
the back room,
right? And then there was the booths in the front where the windows were to the street.
Yeah.
I have a story about Kevin. This was maybe 1996 or 5 or 6, and I was sitting in the front booth.
Okay.
So when you pull up and you see all the cars parked on the street, you're like, it's something's everybody's there. So I pull up and I get a booth. So it's me and one of my friends. I think it was Adrian. So just one. It wasn't like a whole bunch of us. And we're sitting in the booth, and then there's the window to the street. Whole bunch of guys outside, like 30, 40, okay, guys. And then we hear this commotion, like something's going on, and we look, and they're all like sort of paying attention to somebody. No fights going on, but they're all just sort of like some commotion's happening, right? Mm-hmm. And then so the person walks in, and it's Kevin. It's Kevin, and he's walking towards us, and he's flipping off everybody outside.
Okay.
And I was like, oh my God, like, no. If you don't, Kevin's huge. He's
a
enormous,
guy,
right?
Big kid,
And then he looks at me, and then he sits down, and I'm like, oh my God. You just flipped off all 40 people outside, and now you're gonna sit at my booth, right? But yeah, I remember that. Later, I learned like those were Zetas.
Oh, okay.
And he had apparently gotten in a fight with one of them and like beat them up. And that's why. But none of them were going to challenge him there.
Okay.
Even as a group, they didn't want to jump him or anything. Yeah, he's pretty scary. He's pretty big. Look,
Yeah.
he's pretty big.
Yeah, he's a big guy. Yeah, he was all muscular and tall. Yeah.
And all the tattoos,
All
right?
the tattoos he had. Yeah.
So,
I want to talk about my boyfriend's car
yeah.
because I think I was with him. I think about my kids, they're right now, well, when they were 16, 17, but it seems like we were kind of older. I don't know if you feel like that. It seems like, because like when my kids were 16, 17, I felt like they were very innocent. And I look back to when I was 16, 17 and the stuff we were doing, we were really independent, And so my boyfriend at the time, the same guy that all the girls wanted, so he got this, he was working at the market, I think the Albertsons in Montebello, and he saved his own money and he bought like a really old Celica, like a 1978 Celica. And he
Nice.
bought it, I think he bought it for like $3,500 or something like that. And remember back then, everybody got their license at 14, 15 years old, right? We all started driving
15 and a half,
right? Yeah, we couldn't wait. And so he buys his car and he comes in the driveway and it's like a red beat up Celica. And his sister was laughing like, that's such a piece of like that car, like what a joke. So it was a Celica, but I think that it was a coupe, 2-door. Okay, so he got.
What year did you say?
It was like late 70s. I want to say it was a 78 or something like that.
Oh, okay. So it wasn't like the super body like that time. That was like in the 80s or something.
It wasn't a super body. It was old. So he had a vision. So me being his girlfriend, I was going with him everywhere. So he drove it down to this auto crap place in Montebello and he had it painted. He paid for it and he had it like a charcoal gray, kind of like this. It was like a really pretty charcoal gray with pearl in it. So he had it spray painted. Then he brought it home and then he had it lowered. And then I remember he bought like Hayashi tires on it. And Yokohama tires. And then he had Hayashi rims on it. And he had order from Japan. And this is no internet, there was no internet back then. So he had to go to some store and go through a catalog and wait like months to get it, So then they ship it over and then we went somewhere and he bought these leather super seats from some guy. So he installed those in the car. And then he took the back seat out. And he had Schurr and Vega speakers. And we went to go buy them at Circuit City or wherever that was. Okay. And I remember they were like Schurr and Vegas. And they were like double coiled or something like that. And he put everything in and he drove it to school. And he was able to park in the SJ parking lot. Okay. So we drove that thing around and he would play that music, He'd have the EQ and then what are those things called? You put your lights on, your lights are always on, your backup lights.
Like hazard lights or?
No, your backup
amber
lights.
lights?
Oh, ambers. You put your ambers. So he had all the switches, so he put the switches on,
Yeah.
had an EQ, and remember the pull out radio? He had all that and he had everything in the car.
That's a lot of money that you're talking about there.
Oh yeah, this is like back when we were 16, 17 years old. So I remember playing that music so loud that the Celica, the emblem, got loose. The Celica on the side, and then the emblems on the car would shake. Like, what a trip, huh? So then that year, he was all proud of his car. So, we were cruising all the carnivals, and then Nisei week was the last one. That's the end of summer. So I remember coming off 4th Street and the Marukai building that was brand new at that time. That market was not even full yet. It was just the market. And I think the stores were empty.
Wasn't it Yaohan? originally?
Yaohan, yeah. It was Yaohan, the bowling alley. So we get off the freeway and there's cops just ticketing everybody. As soon as you got the freeway, so they got you for a lower car, loud exhaust, tinted windows, right? Blah, blah, blah. And so I remember they were just pulling everybody left and right, giving fix-it tickets. And I remember they were saying that, your car can't be, if they have a cigarette pack, your car can't be lower than that. You remember that? That was the standard. That's how you know.
I don't remember that.
Yeah. So I remember when by the time we parked the car and we got out and everybody's talking, right? Everybody got tickets. I mean, they must have made $1 million on the kids, that year. But
How did you feel going in that car or riding with him in that car?
it was pretty cool because, we run on the windows and we would just cruise, all the carnivals. It was fun.
Does he still have that car? Do you know?
I don't think so. Yeah.
That's a classic now. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Just thinking about that.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what he did with that car, but Yeah, it would be cool if you still had it.
That must have been fun to be rolling around in that with the sound system and lowered and all that.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's kind of this like mix between the car scene and the gang scene. Like there's some overlap, right? Like you don't know who's who, and people are dressing like a lot of the guys, the style, like when I grew up, the style was gangster. You know, it's hard to discern who is a gangster and who's not because you all are driving the same cars and wearing the same clothes.
I want to say, like when I was in high school, most people were into cars and racing. We didn't have too many gangsters. I mean, we had a few. But remember Nogales? The races at Nogales? Because nothing was out there back then. So I remember Saturday nights, people used to go racing on those streets in Nogales. But I don't remember. I remember going out later when going to the college age, and there was fights and everything. But I think in high school, I don't know if we had too many gangs. I don't remember that.
It's because you were the gang. You were the
No,
woman.
I wasn't.
It was you and that girl.
Oh my God. No, but it was a normal thing. I mean, people fight every day, Schurr.
Every day?
Every day. Yeah, it was a
Wow.
fight. I remember one time the administrators came because they were going to do like people from the district were going to come, and the principal was like, hey man, nobody fight. Let's not have this fights this week. So there was no fights that whole week. And then as soon as like that Monday came, fights. Yeah, but eating lunch and all of a sudden people would be fighting football players. Like every day there was a fight.
The overlap of the prison system and the school system is unusually similar.
Really?
The way it's structured, the bell, the yard, the play yard, like how you're moving from place to place, it is uncanny. Even the ways that they're organized and like the type of systems that they use to feed.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah.
And how do you know this?
I mean, you can see it if you just look for it, right? But
You know, my dad, like, you know, he was like a gangster, and he told me that when he went to prison, they didn't have any Asians. So they said, do you want to be with the African Americans, the Hispanics, or the white people? And he was putting me with the Mexicans. Yeah.
that echoes my experience in Germany.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. So in basic training, you're all sort of melded together. You don't really have a lot of freedom, right? And then you go to advanced training. It's sort of similar, but then when you get to your regular unit, you can do whatever you want, basically, right?
Okay.
So my first day in Germany in the chow hall, I get my food. I turn to look, and there's like all white, all black, and all other.
Oh,
and I was like,
interesting.
oh man, and all the other were Mexican.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, I'm gonna go sit over
Yeah.
there, right? They were so welcoming to me because they were mostly from Southern California and Texas, and they were all
Okay.
gangsters. They had names like Pelon, Flaco, Mousy, you know, like they were gangsters.
Yeah.
But they knew where I came from, you know, so they welcomed me. They invited me to the carne asada that weekend, you know?
Yeah, they're totally nice.
And this is what happened that first barbecue weekend. I'm sitting there and they're all barbecuing, and this guy is like completely drunk. He's completely drunk. And I try to get up out of my chair, and he grabs onto my shirt, but he's just sort of like stumbling, and I'm like, hey, you know, let go. I don't know who he is. And he's a white guy. And I was like, hey man, let go of my shirt. And before I knew it, boom, this guy, his name was Big A. I think his last name was Arietta or something, Arietta. Tackles him to the floor, and then there's like 4 or 5 guys like beating him up. And I was like, oh my God. Right? And then they apologized to me for that, and I was like, dang, that's pretty crazy. And then they welcomed me into their, it wasn't a gang or like anything, it was, you know, amongst them.
Amongst themselves.
Yeah.
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 They're cool people.
Yeah. So teach me how to wear like Ben Davis and crease my jeans
Yeah,
and all that.
Davis,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I sort of wanted, like, this is a maybe a different format from the rest of our shows, but you know, Michelle's such a great storyteller. You had so many stories, right? So is it Tai Hei? Am I saying that right?
Yeah, Tai Hei is a restaurant in Monterey Park on Garfield.
Is it still there?
Yeah, have you eaten there?
No.
Oh, you got to eat there.
Okay.
You'll love it.
Tai Hei.
Tai
And what
Hei.
kind of food is it?
It's Japanese food.
Oh, it's Japanese
Yeah.
food.
And it's like the chefs are all Japanese, the waitresses, it's authentic Japanese food.
So that's funny when you say that, because whenever someone tells me about a Japanese restaurant, those are the questions that I have.
Oh, really? Yeah,
my
they're
mind.
all from Japan. Yeah.
Okay, so where is it?
It's on Garfield.
On
Garfield and what is that? Riggin?
Oh, down there.
Uh-huh.
Garfield and Riggin. By the old Chakas?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
across the street. But there's a
Okay.
dairy. Do you know the dairy?
Yes.
The kid's right there across the street.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what happened there?
So when me and my ex-husband first got married, we started renting a duplex, right, like 3 doors down from Tai Hei. So we started moving in early before we got married. So we started moving in like our bed and our furniture and things like that. So we started kind of living there before the wedding and everything. So I noticed that at the time I was working for USC, it was like a clinic, a medical office. And so I would get like these black eyes. Like it would start off like a sty and then it would turn black and blue. Okay. And then, so I'd go to the doctor because I was working at USC, and then medical, like if you're sick, that's where you go, right? USC, that's like the experts. So I went to the doctor there and they were like, oh, it looks like you have an eye infection. So they treated me and nothing would make it go away. So then eventually it would go away and then I would get it on this eye and it would turn into like a circle like this and it would turn black and blue.
What was causing that? The chemicals that you were around?
We don't know. So then so they got frustrated, or they couldn't figure it out. So they sent me to the eye, like Doheny Eye. That's like USC's, and I was an employee there. So of course you get like it's all covered. So they send you over there. So I went to all their specialists. They couldn't figure out what was wrong with me, and I just kept getting them. I kept getting them on and off. Like every month, I would just get it. So I left USC and I started working at the payroll company. Remember I was talking when I was here last time?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I started working there and I started getting the black eyes again. I kept getting it back. So one day I get a phone call from HR and they call me in and I'm like, okay, what's this about? And they said, your coworkers are worried that you're getting beaten up. And I said, are you kidding me? And she goes, yeah, we've gotten multiple calls that people are concerned that you're getting, like, your husband's beating you up. And I'm like, oh my God, that's hilarious. No, I have this eye infection, and I had to show them, like, no, it's an eye infection. I don't know what's wrong. So we ended up buying a house. So we started moving out and getting to move out there. So my mom and my sister, my dad go eat at Tai Hei because it's right down the street. They're going to eat dinner and they're going to come over and help me move. So they're eating at the restaurant. And this lady's there because everybody's in Monterey Park knows each other. Okay, so my mom knows this lady in there, and they're talking, "How's your kids? How are you?" Blah blah blah. And she's, "Oh yeah, my daughter's living in this. We're gonna eat here, and then she's gonna move. She lives in the so and so's house." And the lady goes, "What? She moved into the so and so's house?" She goes, there was a murder there?" And my mom's all, "No, I didn't." She goes, "Yeah, it was." She goes, "Which one is she renting?" And my mom said, "Oh, the front unit." She goes, "Oh my God, 7 or 8 years ago." She's like, "I can't believe you don't know about it." 7 or 8 years ago, because the owners lived in the back and we lived in the front. And she goes, "Yeah." She said, there was a husband and wife from Japan, and he beat her to death, and she died in the house. And so my mom and dad were like, "What?" So they told my sister, "Don't say anything to Michelle. Don't say anything to her because she's going to freak out, and so just not say anything." So they leave the restaurant, and what does my sister do? The first thing, she comes up to me, "Michelle, somebody died here." Somebody got beat up, and she goes, "Somebody died here." I go, "Oh my God." So I couldn't sleep there anymore. So I never went back again, and I moved out. I never got another black eye. Never.
What?
Ever again. Never. So weird. Isn't that creepy? Yeah.
For the listener, my mouth is just dropped. Like, are you serious?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because even in my engagement photos, it flared up that day. So when I took my pictures, he had to like Photoshop my pictures. Yeah. And then after we moved out, I never came back. And I mean, I went to every specialist at USC, and no one could figure out what was wrong. Yeah.
That is crazy.
It's weird. I know weird things happen to me. I'm telling you.
So as soon as you found out, you never went back to the house?
I went back. I never slept. I never went back there.
Did you ever feel anything there? Like that something was not right?
My mom said that because we had a dog, and I don't remember this, but she said my dog would bark and I would tell her, but I don't really remember any like seeing anything or feeling anything. Yeah, it was kind of weird.
That is more than weird. That's crazy. I believe you, and I believe the connection there. But wow, my connection to Japanese culture is very limited, and I've seen stuff online where in Japan, especially if someone dies in the house, that's like very bad thing. Like nobody wants to live there anymore. And realtors, like there's a whole field of realtors who specialize in marketing these kind of houses
in Japan.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, just specifically for that. They're very, very low, like cheap too, because nobody wants to live there.
Well, didn't you see the Ring movie? That movie scared me to death. Oh my gosh. But here in America, I saw most of the houses I saw somebody passed away. Some die and some don't. But you could feel the difference. You could feel
I would guess so.
Mm-hmm. You could feel it.
What is the law for disclosure around that?
Well, you have to, if somebody dies in the house within 3 years, you have to disclose it. Unless they died of AIDS.
What?
I know.
That's so weird.
That's how the law's written, yeah.
Unless they died of AIDS?
They died of AIDS and they died a month ago, you can't disclose it. But if they died natural causes or whatever, yeah.
So 3 years. So after 3 years, you don't have to disclose it.
No.
And how many people in your experience are like really turned away from that? Like
a lot of people. But they will buy the house at the right price. But I had a client, and I don't think he'll mind me. He watches you. He's not going to mind me telling you this. So I had a condo in Rosemead, and I was selling one already in the complex. So an investor had bought another condo in the same complex across the street, and he saw that I had one for sale, so he wanted to hire me to sell his. And I said, okay. So he says, hey, I bought it on an auction, and I haven't been there, but I'm going to sell it. Can you sell it for me? And I said, okay, sure. He said, because I know you're selling one already. I said, okay. So they're the same model. I said, okay. So I go down there, and when I get there, there's yellow tape, on the front door, and it says, place line, do not cross kind of thing. And I said, oh. So I open the door, and there's a cleaning crew in there in the house. So I go upstairs, and there's these two women cleaning the walls, and the ceiling had I guess some guy had got a shotgun and he shot himself, and so the shrapnel, you could see the pattern on the ceiling. Okay, so I don't know if you know this, but if blood, you have to put a certain kind of a special primer, because if you put regular paint primer, it's going to seep through. So you have to get a special kind of primer and then paint over it. So I called the owner, and I said, hey, I don't know if you know this, but there was a violent death here. I just want to let you know. He goes, yeah, we found out about it. So we're thinking hopefully it's not going to affect the sale. And I said, oh, it's definitely going to affect the sale, because when it's a natural cause, people understand that. But when it's like a suicide or some kind of shooting, it just kind of, people get turned off. So I told him, I'll try my best. I'll try to sell it, but I'm going to tell you, because right here it's predominantly Asians and Hispanics, and that's a big no-no. I'm just going to let you know, because he was like from the Encino. He didn't live over here. So I put it on the market, and I'm really lucky. I get really lucky. So one of my friends from high school calls me, and he says, hey, me and my wife are looking to buy a house. We want to use you. I said, okay. So he says, okay, I want to live in an area where there's police cars. I want to live where there's sirens all the time. I want to live like in a busy, noisy area where there's all kinds of activity going on. And I said, I might have the perfect condo for you. I go, somebody passed away in it. He goes, oh, okay, I'll go see it. That didn't freak him out at all. So I showed him the condo, and him and his wife bought it, and they remodeled it. And I went to go see them, and they said, we're totally happy here. They said, we got this condo 40 or 50,000 less than the neighbor, so we're good. And they said he got what he wanted, and we talked to him, and we're good. I said, okay. So I ended up selling that one first before the other one.
Did they ever report any experiences there?
No, they said it's fine. Yeah.
I don't think I could do that. I don't think I could live there. You do have crazy stories.
I have crazy stories. I have like all crazy stuff happens to me. Yeah, but I'm really lucky too.
So you have a twin sister, but she's not an identical twin, or is she an identical?
We're fraternal.
Fraternal. So tell us your best twin stories.
I got a good twin story. Okay, so when we were about 8 years old, we shared a bedroom, and then my mom and dad's room was next door. So my sister was watching TV, laying on the bed like this, watching TV, and I was in my bedroom, and we had a bunk bed, and it was like this. So I slept on the bottom, and she slept on the top. So I was doing something, and when I got up, I conked the back of my head really hard, and I was like, oh, So right after that, my sister started crying. So my mom ran into the bedroom, and then I ran into the bedroom, and my mom's like, what's the matter? And my sister goes, I don't know, but my head hurts really bad right here. So she had a bump on the back of her head. I hit my head, but she got the bump and the ouchie.
What?
Yeah.
That is also pretty crazy.
Yeah. And we went to the doctor, and the doctor couldn't explain it. And I remember when I was going to PCC, there was like a teacher, a philosophy teacher, and I asked him too. And then I was taking a medical class, and I asked him too, and no one could explain that to me, like how that happened.
They must have thought you were crazy.
I know. But yeah, it's a true story.
Wow.
Yeah.
Has anything like that ever happened since? Where something happened to one of you and the other felt it?
No. It was the only time, yeah.
Wow.
But then we would did you ever go to Dr. Watase on Beverly Boulevard in Montebello?
No, I went to Dr. Akiyama.
Oh, yeah, okay. So back in the day, everybody, Monterey Park went to Dr. Watase.
Okay.
So we'd get x-rays, and our chairs would be together. We would have the same cavity and the same teeth, but opposite side.
What?
Yeah. So every year we go for a checkup, and he would have my mom come in the back, and he would tell her that they got the same cavity on the opposite tooth every year. Weird.
That is weird.
I know.
Wow. Michelle, I want to get back to more of your stories. They're so interesting and fascinating, but let's take a quick break, and I'll be right back.
Okay.
Sometimes, even the best of us can slip up. That's why the law offices of Scott Wormuth are here to pick you back up again.
And while they strive to get you the biggest compensation possible, oh my gosh.
Their main concern is your health and recovery. They work closely with doctors and insurance companies to make sure you get the proper medical treatment.
Initial consultations are free, so give them a call.
At the law offices of Scott Wormuth, we're with you all the way.
I'm Scott Wormuth. We've been fighting for your rights for more than 40 years.
All right, we're back with Michelle. So you still have a lot of stories in there, right? So,
Yeah.
what were you saying right now?
About the Montebello liquor store?
Yeah.
So I think it was on Whittier or Beverly. So back in high school, there was a liquor store that would sell, this is really bad. They would sell booze to all the kids.
Really?
Yeah. Everybody, it was just one liquor store.
Okay.
And so everybody would go down there and buy, and they would just sell it to everybody. So, you know how we had the MAD, or what is that? Mother Against Drunk Driving, or there was a chapter at our school. So some guy went and told on them and got them shut down. So everybody was mad at him.
I think we had one of those of our own, but I never got alcohol there. I think it was called like Knobs Liquor or something. I forget.
Is it Montebello?
It was in Monterey Park.
Oh, Monterey Park.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So did you buy alcohol from that place too?
I didn't drink.
Oh.
Because I'm allergic to alcohol, but all my friends did. They used to go down there and they used to just buy it.
I am allergic to alcohol.
Oh, you are?
I don't drink anymore. I used to drink until maybe 2015.
Okay.
But I could only really do like 1 or 2 beers or whatever, and then I would not feel good.
Oh, okay.
But my scars would turn bright red.
Interesting.
Like every scar on my body would turn bright red. I would have difficulty breathing. Yeah. And I was like, why am I doing this?
Yeah.
So what happens when you drink it?
I just get red and I throw up.
Oh, you throw up too?
Yeah. It's
Interesting.
not even fun.
Yeah. Yeah. And I tried to be a good drinker for a long time, especially like, younger in the Army. But I tried to I thought I could build up a tolerance. Mm-hmm. Never could. And then you had to deal with everybody calling you like lightweight and all that stuff. But
I'm just a designated driver now. I just drive.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. You also shared something about 1970s baby having a mole on their left arm. Before you said, I have that.
Did you check?
I already know this story, but I do. So
Yeah.
tell me about this.
Yeah, I saw it on TikTok.
Okay.
And there was a lady, and she said, if you're born in the 1970s, you should have a mole on your left arm. And I looked, and I have it.
So let me see.
Right here.
Okay.
Do you have it in the same? We all have it in the same spot. It's so weird.
So, this jacket's not going to let
How
me
can
do
they
it.
explain
I'll
it?
show you afterwards. I do
Okay.
have it. I do
Yeah.
have it.
It's weird, right? What happened?
What? Why? Yeah. Why is that though?
I don't know. You got to look
Do you
into
have
that.
I have one over here about
Oh.
born in the 70s.
Oh,
No, it's right here. It's right under the fold. Everybody has it in the same place.
interesting.
It's really weird.
You by profession now are a realtor,
Mm-hmm.
and you must have some crazy stories there. But you said something in there that your offer is your resume.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think people realize how important it is who you choose to represent you. Because I think a lot of times they go, oh, it's so easy to get your license. And I have my coworker or my cousin, that does real estate. But I'm going to tell you, that makes a huge difference. This is kind of like one of the probably the biggest purchases, right, you're going to make. And so you have to think of it. Like if you're going to get eye surgery, are you going to use someone that maybe does 2 eye surgeries a year? Right? You're going to go lawsuit. Are you going to only go with someone that does it part-time? Or, you want someone that has a lot of experience. And so when I'm selling a house and people send me offers, it's like the client's resume, because they're applying to buy this house, and especially in a competitive market. And so the seller, they have like 20 offers to choose from. So I collect them all, and I could see right away, some people leave it all blank. Some people write all kinds of nonsense, or it's really sloppy. And so that kind of tells me who I'm going to be working with on the other side. I mean, there's been times where I get an offer, we open escrow, and I have to coach that person because they're so new. They don't know what they're doing. And I don't think the buyer understands how important it is, to choose. So yeah, they can really hurt you. Or then I have agents that send me an offer and I call, they never call me back. They send me the best one and I call the agent, I email them. No, I don't hear from them. So I go to the next one. And you think, did that person know that they got the offer, but no one ever responded? Or opposite, when I'm taking buyers out and I see a house and I go take them and I can't get in the house, there's instructions. I call, and nobody ever picks up.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And you think, do these sellers know that their agent is not picking up the phone? So when sometimes you see a house on the market a long time, either that the agent is not very good or the house is overpriced or something's wrong with the house, but it's either one of the two things. So it's really important that you be surprised. And then like in anything, there's trends, so I can tell that like every couple months there's a trend, the way you write an offer or the way the market's going. So if I get an offer and it doesn't have the trend that I'm looking for, that people are doing this and this and that, I could tell that person doesn't do much real estate. Just by the way it's written. So it's really important to
by trends, do you mean like the financing, like asking the seller to buy down a rate or something like that?
Yeah, there's different like trends like that. Or they say, removing, like when it gets super competitive, removing certain contingencies or shortening them or, doing certain things. So the ones that are really active, I could tell because they're with trend. But the ones that are writing offers that are like a couple of years ago, the trend, I could tell. I'm like, oh, this person, must not have a lot of experience or they're not real active. Yeah. So it's super, super. And then, oh my God, and then that tax thing, that started up a whole conversation, the property tax. Yeah. And so I'm sure you were reading because you're responding too, but I was responding to all those people, and people get it confused where it's capital gains and property tax. Those are two separate entities, they're going to get you. You're going to have to pay. Then people try to do all kinds of stuff, and I've had this has happened to me a few times where somebody will say, "Hey, I want to buy this house. It's, let's say, $900,000. Okay, so I want to buy it for $800,000." And I want to show that I bought it for $800,000, so I don't have to pay property taxes on $900,000. And I'm like, no, you can't do that. That's fraud. And then number 2, the county assessor has their own department. You know, they have their own appraisal department. And so it doesn't matter what price you buy the house for, the county is going to appraise it for the current market value. So there's no way to get around it. And so many people, I read all those crazy people writing me, but yeah, I know.
So before we end here, do you welcome that kind of engagement? Like, do you try to avoid that? Like, how has that social media interaction been from that and in that line? Like, as a realtor, you know, questions about stuff. Is social media a good area to generate that kind of conversation and respond to them?
I think yes and no. I think there's a lot of misinformation. And then when I notice that, I go, wow, a lot of people are really misinformed of all their information, you know? So it actually, I made a few videos after that to kind of back up that first video or to clarify, because I think, wow, there's a lot of misinformation. Or people just called me, you know, they called me about it. Hey, da-da-da, you know, so just the other day I got a call. She goes, hey, I saw your video about the taxes and, you know, my mom and So yeah, I welcome them to call me so I can help them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because
awesome.
it's something that people don't talk about, you know, and then you could get a huge tax bill.
Sure.
So yeah.
Before we end the show, Michelle, you dropped some knowledge last time about that area of real estate. Is there something else that people are really misinformed about that you can give them some knowledge about here?
A lot of people ask me, especially now, should I wait to buy or should I wait till the rates drop or whatever, you know? And I just tell people there's never a good time to do anything, right? It's never a time to get married or there's never a perfect time to have a baby or get married or anything. You just do it when you're ready, you know? So if you're ready to buy a house, you just go shopping and you find the perfect house. Because what happens is when the market gets flooded, when the interest rate's supposed to drop in a couple months, and when that happens, there's going to be a frenzy and you're going to have to compete. Right now, you might have to compete against 1 to maybe 5 people. If you wait till the rate drops really low, you're going to be competing with hundreds of people. And then when you get to that point, you don't even have a chance. I mean, because people that have cash, you know, they have the money to have stronger offers and so forth. So, and then that raises the price of the house. You know, so if you buy it right now, like I'm saying, you can only, you know, you're going to compete against a few people and you're going to record at a certain price, right? But when it goes into a frenzy, it's going to record at this price, right? So everything's going to be based on your property tax, right? Everything. Insurance, right? Your home insurance, your everything, property tax. So you're better off to do it when you're ready. There's not a perfect time.
Yeah. Awesome. Thanks for sharing that.
Yeah.
Well, Michelle, thank you again for coming here and entertaining us with all your stories. I really appreciate you coming back.
Thank you.
If people want to get in touch with you again, what's the best way to do that?
You can go, well, I'm on everything, right? Facebook, Michelle Shimohara, and then Instagram, same, Michelle_Shimohara. And on TikTok, too, same thing. You can find me. Google me. Find my number. Call me if you have any questions. I'm here to help you.
Awesome. Thank you so much for being here again.
Thank you.
Well, there you go. Another show in the books. I hope you were entertained by Michelle's stories as I was. I love how she's telling these stories. And one of the things that I share in my newsletter, when I share a story, that event, that story lives on. It lives on in that one memory when you're hearing it, reading it. As people continue to tell these stories, they're captured. Without some way to capture them, to remember them, they just sort of fade away, you know, into non-existence. And so we try to be a platform to capture these stories. And these are all from the SGV. These are all from, growing up and living here. So I hope you enjoyed that. Let me know if you have stories of your own that you'd like to share. Don't forget to like and share. If you like this kind of content, please subscribe. And you can check out more of our content on our website, mysgv.net. And until next week, we'll see you then. Thank you for joining us on the MySGV Podcast. Check out more of our content on our website, mysgv.net. This show was produced by Scott Warmoth, directed by Russell Mano, edited by Victoria Allers, and original music by Yone OG. If you'd like to join us next week as we capture and share more stories from our diverse community, feel welcome.
Nice mother. No, kind mother.